back to Rotten and Forgotten. I picked up another Skidoo the other day. It's, you know, an Olympique 1971 variety, and it's pretty much all there. We've got some issues to go over, but the tunnel and the hood are all together, and I haven't seen too many rust holes, so yeah, I don't know. That's about all I've looked at so far. I haven't really looked at it all, to be honest. I bought it from a buddy who bought it from a buddy who got it from some guy, so it's one of those kind of deals. I know it's ran. I've seen it run. That was a couple of years ago now, though. Underneath the hood, you know, this ain't just your average Olympique. No, it's not. Well, it kind of is because it's a 303 single cylinder. But with this engine, I've completed the circle of, you know, Skidoo Motors single cylinders, I think. Had the 250? Yeah, 250. The 303, which is this one, and the 335. They're all pretty much identical, different bores and strokes and whatnot, but same principle behind them. So I think we should be able to, you know, revive this one, maybe. I haven't tried turning it over, to be honest. There's no recoil, and I really haven't looked at it. Let's, you know, get you guys in here and we'll eye up the situation, make a game plan, and execute it, hopefully. At first glance here, it looks pretty darn complete. You know, we're missing that recoil, of course, but we've got a spare one, I think. The tag here says the 302, 299. It's got to be right. And everything appears to be here. I've got the seat foam. I just got to reupholster it. We'll get there when we get there. The front here, the skis, they're in the pizza wedge position, going down the ski slope, trying to slow down. That's a pretty easy fix. Just a broken tie rod end. We got one somewheres in a box. Over here, you know, we got ourselves a key and a decompression valve that moves. That's great. And a light switch on off, I'd guess. An HR carburetor, you know, fuels the beast. Big old 302. And we got ourselves a belt shield and a chain case. And I'm assuming it's a double chain. Yep. That's not supposed to be like that, by the way. Ooh. Got ourselves a beer can. At least they didn't litter. That's good. Let's dive into the tie rod situation and get that figured out. Then we'll build ourselves recoil, and then, you know, we'll test for spark and rebuild the carburetor and go for a rip. So for our tie rod situation, I have the steering column and tie rods from a 73 Olympique, and I think it should fit right on there. Now the 71's got some lifted tabs and stuff going on. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe it was the first iteration of them, I'd assume. But I'm pretty sure this will fit on there, and you know, this steering column isn't welded up, so I'll feel a little bit more comfortable sending people out on this rig versus that. But, you know, personal preference, I guess. I'm gonna try to jam this on there, see if it's gonna work, and if it does, problem solved. So this appears to be held on by some 7/16 bolts, so that should, you know, go good. Oh. We gotta pop this off. You gotta put the horse in front of the cart, you know, not the cart in front of the horse. That wasn't on there very good. There. Oh, once again, you know, horse in front. Yeah, we've got to take our linkages off here. Things are falling. Well, that's kind of cool. Just plastic chucks for your bushing on this. That's pretty neat. It's off. That's good. We've got some, you know, jerry rigging going on here. There's different tie rods on this guy. The 73 column has the same one, so that should be an upgrade, I think. We'll just zip these off quick. The 71 has 2 sets of holes for adjustments, apparently. Probably for a different model machine, I would assume, but that's pretty neat, I guess. I think this should work. Seems to steer. We're not catching up on the secondary at all. That was kind of my concern, but we got a good 1.5 inches at least. A little close to the brake shoe, but once that's, you know, set right, it shouldn't be any issue. So I think that's gonna work. Now, I see another issue in the front end, and we'll address that before we tighten all this down. So our other issue in the front here, this ski's sitting pretty darn good. You know, it's not all tilted. But this one, it's crooked. That's because, you know, the ski peg was taken out at one point and it got put in backwards. You can see it's a little higher on this side, lower on that side. Well, these are tapered to make these skis sit, you know, straight up and down. And if you flip them around, you get a wonky ski. And not only that, this thing's got spacers on there, so it's gonna, you know, tilt even more. So we're gonna pull that out and flip her around, take the ski off, put it on the right way, and we should be having a straighter stance. Then we'll, you know, align on them a little bit, get them running straight. That's a little bit stuck. Oh no. Found this handy dandy crowbar. You know, before the crowbar, crows just drank at home. Yeah. That's a pretty good one. Looks like it was, you know, put in backwards. We're gonna do a 180 on her, and it should straighten that ski out. And there we go. It's better. It's got a little bit of a tilt to the outside now, but you know, that spacer could be bent a little bit, or the spindle could be bent, or I don't know, all sorts of things could be bent. But you can tell that's sitting a lot better how it should be, so that's good. We got our bolts tightened down, and you know, we got steering. We're extremely close to hitting the frame on this side, but luckily it hits the stopper first, so I don't even have to adjust the tie rods or anything. We're just gonna let roll with it. It'll be good enough for what I'm trying to do with it. But yeah, that's a hurdle we jumped over. Now we can start on this motor. First, we got to build some kind of recoil out of all the parts and pieces. I don't have a complete one laying around, but I think I got the parts to build one, so we'll do that, I guess. I do have the pieces for one, and I got some interesting things going on in here. I didn't have the big flat washer, so I'm using a fender washer. I'm not sure if that's, you know, gonna work or not. I think the little clevises should be able to go past there and, you know, catch on there. Not sure how long it's gonna last, if it's just gonna fly apart instantly. You know, this little key's really stretched, because I didn't have that either, and that's not quite the right one. Anyways, we're gonna pretend it's all, you know, how it's supposed to be, and fix on it. So I got the recoil rope in there. You gotta loop it up and then through. Took me a little while to remember how to do that, but I think I got her. She's pretty tight. So we're gonna thread this through. This is 10 feet. You definitely don't need that much, but I'm not sure how much I'm actually gonna need. I'm guessing about 3 feet or something. But we'll run this through, line up that little notch in the spring. Hindsight, a guy should have cut those off before he rewound it, but that didn't happen. So now we're, you know, working with some tension, adding some spice in my life, I guess. Yep. Gotta do what you gotta do to get that out of there. That should work. There we go. The clevises engage. Let's go bolt it on there and, you know, pull the spark plug out, test our pull, see if anything happens. We're gonna go ahead and pull the spark plug out of this thing. It appears to be a 1-incher. No, not a 1-inch. What is that plug? So it's not a 13/16. That's too small. 15/16 now is the ticket. And this plug wasn't even in there. So that's good. Yikes. What do we got going on? We got a Champion D14. Yeah, okay. What about, you know, the threads and whatnot? Look pretty good, I think. Let's pull it over and listen, see if we hear any real greasy scratching or anything. We're gonna check this rig for spark now. My recoil, you know, she ain't quite perfect, but it's gonna work. Oh, we got spark, that's good. Lots of it too. Great. That's, you know, a pretty good deal. So we've confirmed it has spark, you know, we confirmed we got a recoil. Let's, you know, do the wrong thing here and try to purge the lines, you know, blow in the gas tank and get some fuel up to this carburetor. This thing ran about 2 years ago, so there's a good chance it's not gonna fire right up, but there's a slim chance it might, and that's worth, you know, a lot, I guess. Why fix it if it ain't even broke? We gotta give it a try. That's what we're about to do. Whoa. I spilled a lot of gas out. It looks like there's clots in there, so that's good. I turned the filter the wrong way. Anyways, it smells gassy. That should work. I've got my electric start bottle here. Let's give her a try. Uh-oh. I broke my recoil, but it did fire, so that's good. Let's see what happened. I'm guessing that key came off. Fixed for about 2 pulls, I guess. I think my bolts are a little long, and I think they're touching the fan blades, is what that screaming noise is, I would guess. But this thing just started up and ran. I mean, that's a miracle. We gotta address that screaming noise. So our only other issue is this recoil. I gotta find a better keeper pin thing, because this one is not quite big enough to, you know, hold on to her. But the other one's too big, and yeah, I just gotta find the right size, and this won't come off. That will come off though, pretty confident on that. So I think I'm gonna go steal a recoil off a different sled, put on here for the time being. I found a retaining pin that, you know, fit a little bit deeper in that groove, so that should help that issue. And for a bolt issue, I just found some nuts to slide over for now, so we're not too long. That should, you know, fix most of our issues we found so far. Let's give this rig another pull, see if we can get it running, then try the throttle a little bit, see if we got anything. So that's great. A little bit on the smoky side, but other than that, you know, we go through the car and clean it up a little bit. Probably run a little bit better, but cool. We could go ride this tonight. I don't think I have a headlight though. Well, I guess it runs, kinda. So that's great. Just got back from eating some tater tot hot dish. That was good too. I think we're gonna, you know, give this rig the old seafoam treatment instead of digging in the cars. Set her outside, let it bark until it comes around or, you know, doesn't. If it doesn't, we'll just go in the carburetor and fix it, you know, the right way, but I'd rather try this, waste more time, you know. So that's what we're gonna do. I think she's a little rich on oil. I'm going to adjust this throttle cable a little bit so we can get some, you know, turning on the throttle adjustment. You know, then we can get her from running, you know, 500 RPMs to, you know, idling at that 850, 1000 range. This old machine kind of runs. We took her for a victory lap. It almost turned into a death march, but we made it back to the shop, still running, so that's good. And we had lights, that was even better, which is really surprising because the wiring on this thing is like not good. But, you know, can't complain. We've got another runner and we've got a lot of potential sitting here and a lot of work left to do, but we'll save that for the next episode. Thanks for watching Rotten and Forgotten. I appreciate it. See you later.